Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So certain Social Security beneficiaries are actually going to be receiving extra payments this month in the month of July. So we're going to be going over who those beneficiaries are and then also which states are going to be sending them. Plus we have a Republican presidential candidate and Chris Christie. He's going to be discussing his plan to save Social Security and make it solvent for a longer period of time. So we're going to be watching that video as well. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Okay, of course, we do have that whole issue, like I mentioned in previous videos and what we've heard over the past year or so about the Social Security solvency issue. So like in 2033, the program will only be able to pay out around 75 to 80% of the benefits, which means for all of us, if we're receiving Social Security benefits at that point in time, whatever we're receiving, we're going to receive a benefit cut of 20 to 25%. So we actually have a very important chart that we're going to look at here in a second that kind of breaks that down. So according to the Motley Fool, here's the most important Social Security chart you will ever see. So we're going to take a quick look at this chart here and kind of, just breaking things down. So we do see a few different lines here where we see two lines and then we see some dots. So basically down here at the bottom, we see a green line, and that green line is the revenues coming into the Social Security Trust Fund. So as far as revenues go, we're looking at FICA taxes. So this is employees paying into the Social Security Trust Fund. Employees pay a 6.2% tax on their wages, and then their employer matches the 6.2%. If you're self-employed, if you have your own business, or if you're an independent contractor, you're going to be paying the entire 12.4% of the revenue. So we can see the revenues there, the green line. Then of course we have the blue line, which temporarily back in the early 2000s was underneath that green line. And then it looks like it, went above the green line around 2010, around 10 years ago. And then, it just takes off very high above the green line as we progress. So basically the blue line is basically what the Social Security Trust Fund is paying out, what we're paying for scheduled benefits. And these are going to people who are receiving Social Security retirement benefits as well as disability benefits as well. So, and then of course, finally, we have that dotted line, and the dotted line is basically the benefits that they are able to pay. So basically, you can see that we're able to pay all the way out until around 2033, 2034-ish, according to this chart. And then after that, basically, we're not able, it just falls off a cliff, more or less. So basically that date again is 2033, 2034. Could always be more, could always be less, just depending on how many benefits that we pay out, how much money comes into the trust fund, things like that. And of course, this is very important because we have to keep a lot of things in mind for people currently receiving Social Security benefits as well as future retirees. So according to the Motley Fool, what should retirees and future retirees do? Social Security was never intended to fully fund retirement. For individuals who haven't retired yet, saving as much money as possible in other retirement accounts is a smart move. If your employer provides a match for a 401k plan, you'll definitely want to at least contribute enough to receive the full matching amount. Sock away any extra money in an individual retirement account as well. But there's arguably an even more important thing for both current and future retirees to do. Make your concerns known to your representatives in the U.S. Congress. The bleak projections on the chart will only become a reality if nothing is done to preserve scheduled Social Security benefits. And they make an absolutely great point here. The best thing we can do right now is to reach out to our U.S. representatives, both in our district and, of course, at the Senate level as well. We have to make what we think should happen well known to our representatives, because we are voting for them, sending them to Washington, so they should be doing what we want. And we could take a look at a couple of different polling data from Data for Progress, and it clearly shows here that voters overwhelmingly support increasing or at least maintaining Social Security benefits. And this is coming from Republican voters, this is coming from independents, and this is especially coming from Democrats. So pretty much everyone agrees across the board that we should at the very least be maintaining benefits. We should not be cutting benefits at all. And hey, if we can even increase benefits, that would be great as well. So, again, the best we can do here is reach out to representatives. We can find their email, we can call them, we can let them know what our thoughts are as far as the future of Social Security. And also, Republicans, Democrats, and Independents also support one bill that's currently in Congress that would actually increase benefits for everyone by $200 per month, and would also increase those currently receiving the special minimum benefit by $485 per month. Again, this is everyone. This is not just Republicans. This is not just Democrats. This is not just Independents. Everyone across the board, all Americans, support this bill. So if you can, if you have just a couple minutes out of your day, just contact your representative in your district, contact your 2 state senators, let them know what you want to happen to Social Security, whether you want it to be cut, which I don't think you would, or if you wanted to pass this bill that would increase benefits by $200 per month. That is the Social Security Expansion Act. Tell them, if this thing ever gets voted on, to absolutely vote yes, especially if you voted for them. If they're going to be counting on your vote in the next election, it's going to be incredibly important that you reach to them and let them know how important passing this bill or saving Social Security is. Now, speaking of increased Social Security payments, of course, this month, as always, there were some extra payments going out to certain beneficiaries of Social Security. So according to AS, extra Social Security payments in July 2023, in which states are they awarded and what are the dates? So SSI payments are sent monthly by SSA. However, some states supplement the federal SSI benefits with additional payments. Here are the states where the payments are granted and when they are sent. So right now, there are 33 states that grant supplemental benefits to those who receive the federal monthly payments from the SSI program. The extra amounts that are sent depend on each state, but come to about $140 on average. So currently, these are the states that send extra SSI payments that are administered by the SSA. So these include California, Delaware, District of Columbia, Hawaii, Iowa, Michigan, Montana, Nevada, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Vermont. Meanwhile, there are also some states that administer their own extra SSI payments that aren't administered by the SSA. These include Alabama, Alaska, North Carolina, South Carolina, Colorado, Connecticut, South Dakota, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, New York, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Washington, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. So my apologies there if that was a little bit long-winded mentioning 33 states there. Quite frankly, it would have been easier mentioning the states that don't administer these extra SSI payments. Now, let me know in the comment section below if you live in one of these states, and if you don't live in one of these states, would you like to see your state obviously administer some extra payments as well? Obviously, the more we can get, the better. But moving into some other news, of course, we do have another Republican candidate who recently threw his hat into the ring to try to take on the front runner and Donald Trump. He is the former governor of New Jersey, and Chris Christie, and he currently has a plan for Social Security. Of course, he's been a huge attacker of Donald Trump, but he does have a plan, if he is elected, to save the Social Security program and make it solvent for a longer period of time. So we're going to go ahead and watch this, then we're going to come back to talk about it.
All right, you are one of the few willing to talk about entitlement reform, about potential changes to programs like Social Security. How do you do that against headlines like this? Current Affairs says why the right hates Social Security and how they plan to destroy it. What's your plan, and how do you sell it to people?
Well, you sell it to people because in 2034, Shannon, if nothing is done, then there will be an automatic, by law, 24% cut in Social Security benefits. So I want every Social Security recipient out there right now who intends to still be receiving those benefits going forward to see what a 24% cut in their benefits would mean. We need to look at all the different options to try to fix Social Security. We don't need to look at raising taxes. We've got plenty in taxes right now in this country. But we need to look at things like, do the extraordinarily wealthy need to collect Social Security? I mean, do we really need to have Warren Buffett and Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk collecting Social Security, and others that are very, very wealthy? And also, when you look at the age of retirement, you don't want to change that for people who are now in their 50s or 60s. That would be unfair. They wouldn't have time to plan. But I say this, I have a son who will be 30 years old this fall. If we change the Social Security age for somebody like him, and he can't figure out how to plan for that over the course of the next 35 years, he's got bigger problems than worrying about what his Social Security benefits are going to be. We need to be real about this, Shannon. And I don't hate Social Security. I love Social Security. And that's why I don't want to see a 24% cut in benefits, because we were too timid and too afraid. And this is another place where Donald Trump says he will do nothing to change it. Well, he won't care, because even if he ran again, he'd be out of the White House before this cut happened, and he would be able to say that it was somebody else's fault. I want to take on the big problems in this country and solve them for the American people.
Okay, so just to break Christie's plan down real quickly, he does not want to increase taxes on anyone to continue funding the program. He doesn't want to increase benefits. Instead, he wants to keep them the same and make the program solvent for a longer period of time. So in his idea, what he wants to do is he wants to raise the full retirement age from 67 up to 69. He mentions his son, who is currently in his 30s, and how he would be better prepared to, wait until the age of 69 as opposed to 67, as opposed to someone maybe like in their 50s right now, getting closer to that full retirement age. So more than likely, in his idea, would be for those currently in their 30s that would have their full retirement age lifted. And in addition to that, he would make it so the extra wealthy people in this country, like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, people like that who have just, millions, if not billions of dollars stashed away in some shape or form, they would not be eligible to receive any Social Security benefit as well. So let me know what your thoughts are on his plan below in the comment section below. Do you like his plan? Do you hate it? Do you think we should come up with some sort of way to actually increase benefits, like in Bernie Sanders' plan to increase benefits by $200 per month? Would definitely love to hear your thoughts and comments below, but that's all the news that I have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.